Hey, it's syndicated radio talk show host, author, singer Al Cole, welcoming you to another edition of People of Distinction, the talk that gives an in-depth view of some of the most dynamic, intelligent, and successful people on the planet. I come from CBS Radio. My shows are nationally syndicated, and I've helped pave the way to treating women, guys too, with the dignity that they deserve. And I do that through my show, People of Distinction, aired on dignified networks all over the country, around the world, through Apple's iTunes radio network under their professional news talk division. They air CBS shows, Fox News, NPR, BBC, and C-SPAN, everything that's talk in the country, around the world on Apple's iTunes radio network. Visit my website as well, peopleofdistinction.org, and you'll see great alliances that I have with people like Arianna Huffington, the founder of the Huffington Post, and her Thrive Global Network. Also, great people who starred in Steven Spielberg's E.T., the Extraterrestrial, Dee Wallace, who played the mother. She's a client of mine, and a whole bunch of other people. And I'm a major media consultant as well, coming from CBS Radio. I've helped a lot of people who come to me and they say, Al, how do I make money through major media? How do you do that these days? And how do I interview in a way that people will buy my books and other things that I'm offering product-wise and service-wise? Well, I can answer that. As a media consultant, I've helped hundreds of people to become entrepreneurial at what they do. In other words, make a profit of what they do. And you can email me if you're interested in that. Email me at alcoholic@gmail.com. You heard me right. That's ALCOLEHOLIC@gmail.com. And I really want to thank my CBS radio listeners for coming up with that handle, Alcoholic. Seems like from day one, my listeners have been saying, Al, we love what you're doing there, brother. In fact, we're hooked on it. We're alcoholics. And lastly, coming from CBS Radio, I'm a New York Times best-selling author with Chicken Soup for the Soul. Chicken Soup for the Soul is distributed by CBS's Simon & Schuster, so we keep it in the family that way. Coming up, a lady who is maybe going to open up your eyes on certain things. Her name is Ellen Eaton Smith. Long name there, and she's had a long life, I'll tell you, and she's a wise woman. She's written a book called In the Blink of an Eye, and it's all about a surgery that she had in her life that really caused big-time complications for her, stroke, other things, but you know, she got over it. Wow. And now she's here to tell you that even if you have complications in your life, hey, don't give up. You can always get through this as long as we're breathing air. Well, and we all are, as long as we're alive. We have hope. And, of course, the great Bob Hope used that as one of his slogans, where there's life, there's hope. Absolutely true. And Mary Ellen's going to tell us some of the ways that she's coped with this and some of the ways that she can guide you to cope with any sort of negativity that happens in your life, tragedy, that sort of thing, and particularly from her experience. Her book, In the Blink of an Eye, is on Amazon.com, so you can order it there, Barnes & Noble. And she was brought to me by a wonderful publishing company called UR Link Publishing. If you got a book that you want to move, UR Link, hey, they're the best movers for books around the country and around the world. Go to urlinkpublishing.com. Welcome, Mary Ellen, to People of Distinction with Al Cole. How are you doing today?
I'm doing great.
Now, what we want to find out is, Mary Ellen, how come you call your book In the Blink of an Eye?
Well, I've always been very blessed through my life with coming from a large family and working at JC Penney as a master hair designer, and I was a mime, portrayed Jesus on the cross at different events, and everything came to a halt. The surgery I had an aneurysm on my brain, and the doctor did surgery, and he clipped vessels besides my aneurysm, and it made me have a stroke from the top of my head to down to my foot on my dominant side.
Boy, that's terrible. And yet, you're here to talk about it. So there were steps that you took to help yourself, and maybe you had a lot of help too, medically, maybe family support. Tell us about that, how you recovered from that.
Well, I was in bed for a long time. I was in a wheelchair for a long time, and it was really hard being a healthy person, and then I couldn't even move. But I decided that I was not going to be in the wheelchair anymore. I got myself up walking around. It was hard, but I have a lot of faith in God, and He helped me through this. And I give all the glory to Him.
Look at that. And isn't that the key? Hey, to give the glory to God. And on People of Distinction, yeah, we believe that too. And that's why we have Mary Ellen Eaton Smith as our special guest today on People of Distinction. And I want you to order her book, In the Blink of an Eye, on Amazon, Barnes & Noble. And UR Link is the publisher on that. So, wow, keep it in the family that way. So tell us more about this saga here, and maybe family as well. Tell us about some of the support systems that you might have had, maybe within your family, that encourage you. Hey, Mary Ellen, wow, we love you, and we want you to get better. We want you to get better, that sort of thing. Were there family members around you, friends that helped to support you as well?
Yes, my family and my friends, and I've been very blessed with them helping me and praying for me and encouraging me. And I have a lot of, I'm very strong because my mother was very strong. We were brought up in a Christian home, and my mother always told us as kids, when you start something, don't give up. And I always came to me, it comes to me, my mother's gone, and I could feel that she was helping me too.
Isn't that wonderful? And we'd like to give expression to the spirit here on People of Distinction, Spiritual Directions. Tell us a little bit more about the spiritual aspect of this that got you through. And maybe it was church support, fellowship with other Christians or whatever. Tell us a little bit about that aspect that helped you to recover.
Well, before I had my stroke, I was a mime. I watched Red Skelton when I was a kid, and I always wanted to be a mime. And so I took classes, and I saw the kids in the school that were killed, and this one girl was a mime and portrayed Jesus on the cross. I called the place, and they sent me the tape, and I practiced it, and I did performing different events, and I loved doing it.
Isn't that great? Now, also, something else that my listeners might be interested in. There's a lot of, I'll mention the word, and if you want to go there, you can go there. Malpractice suits and malpractice cases in general and situations where individuals think that they're maybe not getting the best medical help, and particularly in drastic cases like yours, with surgery that involved your brain, resulted maybe in some big complications, or definitely, not even maybe, and stroke, things like that. Were there any directions that you might have taken against the doctor, the surgeon who did that surgery?
Well, to be honest with you, the doctors stick together.
Yeah.
They stick together, and I was in such a state of mind that I just give up on that because I thought I don't feel like fighting that.
Yeah.
I didn't want to fight it.
Yeah, we understand. And, it's a big problem sometimes. And this goes out to my listeners right now, my People of Distinction listeners. It is a problem sometimes within the medical practice. Of course, I've had a lot of doctors on my show. Wonderful doctors and other people.
There's wonderful doctors.
Yeah.
I'm not going to, just because of one person, I would not. There's a wonderful doctors, and they care about person.
Yeah,
but
absolutely.
the thing happened, after my husband took me in a wheelchair after I got out of rehab, 5 weeks after I was in intensive care, 2 weeks. And when he took me in the wheelchair to see the doctor just ignored me and talked to my husband and looked all right past me. And when we got ready to leave, he said, "Mrs. Smith, get up and walk, walk, walk." And I felt, you did this to me, and then you can't even talk to me. It hurt.
Absolutely. Yeah. And we live in a society sometimes where most of the doctors are men, and sometimes, like you said, he looked at your husband, addressed things to your husband. You're the patient. You're a woman. Yeah, that's not right. You know, men kind of, and you said doctors stick together, men stick together sometimes. Got to change our society here a little bit, Mary Ellen. Now, if we were to change our society to the
but
better.
You know, what I did, Mr. Alcol, I finally typed him a letter with my left hand and sent him a letter that I forgive him. And, you know, I had to heal that way. But I never did hear from him. But I sent the letter that I forgive him. Look
at that. What a beautiful sentiment that was. And we believe in forgiveness here on People of Distinction with Al Cole, even if you suffer tragic events from being transgressed. We know about transgression. Forgiveness is something that always helps. And because sometimes when we suffer transgression, we feel sometimes partially guilty for that. It represses us. And if we can get that monkey off of our shoulder with love, hey, love is the key to forgiveness, we can understand that there but for fortune we can all go. Sometimes we've transgressed against others, and we need a little bit of forgiveness for ourselves, too. We talk that way on People of Distinction with Al Cole. And especially when we have Mary Ellen on the line talking that way, too. In her book, In the Blink of an Eye, you can order that at Amazon. You can order it at Barnes & Noble as well. Mary Ellen, we just have some minutes left in this spotlight interview here. And I want to take it out with some possibility thinking. We've been talking that way throughout the show in terms of don't give up, and spiritual awareness, help from family members and friends. What if, in our future, let's say that everybody really recovered well from their illnesses? In other words, we don't have to fear illness too much anymore. We don't have to fear operations. Now, this is possibility thinking. It hasn't happened yet in our society. But I always cap up all of my shows with possibility thinking. My listeners love it. It's a way to explore things into our future, better ways of living our lives. Let's say that we're all pretty healthy. And even if we have operations, all of the operations go well. Everything else in our society is fine. But now we recover from health issues always very positively. What kind of difference would that make? Just that one thing, that now health, and we have all the support systems that we need, even some of the people who might otherwise be lonely. But we have those beautiful support systems, and we understand that generally it's coming from God and that beautiful spirit. What kind of world would that look like then, that it doesn't look like now, Mary Ellen?
Well, I'm very happy that I've come this far. I've even talked to stroke survivors, and I've seen some pitiful sights that I feel like I'm blessed because I'm not as bad as what they got. It's just, I just feel very blessed, sir. Very blessed.
Absolutely. And we're blessed, too. And I'm going to cap off the show with a couple of cents of my own here. You know, when we feel blessed and when we are blessed, it's because of love, people. That's what we really talk about in People of Distinction. That's why we're all people of distinction. It all has to do with love. And when we have love in our hearts, love in our soul, we are really blessing the individual that got us here in the first place. We can even say God. We are sending out a blessing to God at that point. Thank you for putting love in my heart, love in my soul. And when we do that, now we can send that message out to other people, and sometimes even people that we don't know. Even when we're walking down the street and we have that beautiful blink in our eye, that spark in our eye, that we say, we love you. Just the fact that you're a human being. And now, in a society where we have that, human beings can trust more. They don't have to fear each other. And in that sort of society, now we really can be the very best that we can be. And we can also be the very best that somebody else can be. We can help other people to accomplish some of their goals and some of their heart and soul love as well. Let's focus on love a little bit more in our world, people. And that's how we talk on People of Distinction with Al Cole, and especially, again, when we have Mary Ellen Eaton Smith on the line and her wonderful book, In the Blink of an Eye. So order that at Amazon, order it at Barnes & Noble, and also go to this website, urlinkpublishing.com, and they're the people that brought Mary Ellen to my show, and they can help you with your book needs as well. urlinkpublishing.com. Thank you so much, Mary Ellen.
Very honored to be able to talk to you, and you sound like a wonderful man, and you're helping people.
Thank you so much.
Well, thank you, sir, and you're a wonderful man. I just feel it. I know. You can tell. You can tell people's hearts.
Yeah. Thank you so much.